Today I'm going to be covering my top moments of Maya and Carina from Station 19. About a year ago, I tried to watch a super edit of the couple, and when they started doing the whole baby storyline, I stopped watching. I just wasn't in the mood. I've talked about my reservations about having a baby storyline shoved on to a lesbian couple. I talk about it in my video about soaps and telenovelas, link in the title cards. Having said that, I decided to give this couple another go, and in fact, I kind of fallen in love with them now. And I wanted to go over my favorite moments from their storyline so far. So let's start at the very beginning when they get to meet. I thought the way that they met was kind of cute. The whole bringing the nose into work and Carina immediately clocking her, and then that night running into her again. Must be fate. What was really obvious to me was that there was an immediate chemistry between the two, and they suss each other out pretty quick, that they're into each other. You can see it in the way that they're looking at each other, that they're kind of figuring it out, and they're like, okay, yeah, this one, that's for the ladies. Which leads into my next favorite moment, which is when they're FaceTiming each other and Maya is talking about
babies flying out of vaginas in them.
Well, first of all, babies don't fly out. They slowly slide out.
Which I thought was a very cute moment, showed that they were establishing a good rapport and that it wasn't just a purely physical attraction. So I thought that moment was really cute. My next favorite moment is when Maya is having her panic attack while they're on holiday because there is a 4-alarm fire going on and she can't be there. This triggers trauma that she has had as a child because her father was so hard on her to always be perfect. I love how they've introduced this concept of her trauma, and they've done it in a way where Carina is there to be supportive and to help her through that moment.
Eyes only on me. Good. Breathe.
I love how that even though Carina has said she's not there to fix broken people, that her feelings are strong enough that she's willing to sit in it with her. This didn't scare her away at all, even though, as we'll find out, it's the tip of a really big traumatic iceberg for Maya. And conversely, what I love seeing was how Maya responded to Carina's brother's death. Carina literally lying on the floor or hiding out in the shower because the grief for her was so deep at losing her brother that she didn't even know how to sleep. I thought she handled that really, really well, giving space for Carina to just take her time, find her footing again, and pull herself together. So basically, mutual support of each other. It's my kink. Showing that these two have a really solid foundation, which is so important because, given what's been going on for them recently, this foundation is what's going to save their relationship. Of course, little side note, Maya going off to sleep with Jack, not the best moment. I really wish they'd done a little bit more to bring Maya and Carina back together after that event. That's a big thing, being cheated on. Kind of a deal breaker for most people. But here I felt like it was a bit glossed over. But this video isn't about me talking about the critiques of the show. It's about the moments that I love. So let's move on to the next one. With the advent of the coronavirus, obviously, that caused some trouble between the gals because they were separated and hating it. What I thought was cute was how both of them were going to ask each other to move in, and how Carina whips out these nasal swabs.
I'll do yours if you do mine.
How do you make even nasal swabbing sound sexy?
Because she did kind of make it sound sexy. I'm like, give me a nasal swab, thanks. And the best part is that it then leads to domestic Maya and Carina when they actually moved in together. So Carina getting all in the kitchen and making a full breakfast for her woman, them sleeping in the same bed, them dancing in the kitchen together just before their wedding. I loved all of that. Give me the coffee shop AU all the way. What's lovely is they actually got some moments to be a happy couple together, and we got to see them on screen. Here we actually got multiple moments of seeing them live together in harmony and in love. So loved that. I even liked the way that Maya reacted to having Carina in her space all of a sudden.
My super hot Italian girlfriend got up early to make me this gourmet breakfast, and I sat there nearly breaking out in hives. It's like my body has this security system that goes off at all the wrong times.
With the cheeses everywhere and feeling like she no longer has control over her space because they're using the relationship again to highlight Maya's trauma, having grown up with an abusive father. My next favorite moment is when Carina is packing to go back to Italy because of visa issues. She's been pretending to be fine, but Maya is not okay with Carina leaving, and they have this conversation.
Italy hasn't felt like home since my mama left when I was 16 years old. I didn't find my home until I met you, Bambino. You're my home.
And I thought that was just beautiful. I mean, the actresses have done such a phenomenal job with their roles. You really, really feel the genuine love and emotion between them. So, yeah, I thought that was a really cute moment. Of course, I can't talk about favorite moments without talking about when they got married. What was really cool was how Maya went to her parents' house just before the wedding to confront her dad, basically come out to him. That must have taken some guts. But also just all the brouhaha that goes around doing a wedding and getting to see them pick wedding dresses and then seeing them walk down the aisle. And even though Maya forgot to write her vows.
Queen of the clipboard, Maya Bishop was so excited about something that she forgot. I love that. I love you. And I choose you forever.
I now pronounce you wife and wife.
And then we got to see them dancing together. And after Maya finds out that she's lost her captaincy at Station 19, we get to see Carina holding Maya as they slow dance together. Again, love that mutual support thing. So I thought that was just a lovely moment. Later on, after they're talking about having a baby, I love that conversation where Maya and Carina are talking about this baby that they want to have together. I especially love how they're talking about who's going to be carrying and whose egg are they going to use. And
Nope, it should be yours. I want to hold a little you. I want them to have these eyes, this nose, and this freckle. I want to have another version of you that I can count my blessings on.
I love that moment so much. Yes, I am converted, even though I wasn't a big fan of the baby storyline at first. I actually have really enjoyed it. I think I was afraid. I was afraid that Jack was going to somehow drive a wedge between the women. I'm so glad that's not the wedge that got driven between them. I'll talk about that a little bit in a moment. And they have fights. They have fights all the time, and I kind of love their fights because they've taken their time to really establish these characters and their relationship, and you understand that there's such a strong, solid base between them. Essentially, I've never been afraid that they're not going to make it because of whatever they're fighting about, and that feels really nice. I don't usually feel that secure with the ships that I watch. But here I don't have any real concern that they're going to end up not together. I feel like the way that they've been written shows that this couple are meant to last. Now, of course, if Station 19 goes on for 20 years, like Grey's Anatomy has, anything could happen, especially if these two stay on the show for that length of time. But fundamentally, I feel like the story that they're telling is one of two people in love and showing how they deal with things. And this actually feels very uncommon. It's not something that I feel we often get to see when it comes to queer storylines. We often get to see the beginning, which is all roses and, butterflies in the stomach. Here they moved through that to get to the part where they're actually committed to each other, they're in a relationship, and we're getting to see them work together to work through the stuff that comes up, which actually is my next moment that I really like. And it's not really a moment, it's more like the thread or the storyline of how they've stayed consistent with Maya's trauma and how you can see that it is affecting every aspect of her life.
So it's my fault that I was born here.
Nobody's talking about fault. Why does every conversation about us has to be about winners and losers?
From the way that she handles her work to the way that she handles her relationship to how she wasn't willing to have a baby at first, her trauma has impacted every aspect of her life. And this is very true to life. It does permeate into every aspect of your life. It completely shapes the way your brain is wired, and you can see this in Maya and how she responds to situations. And you can see that she's trying to work through it, but what she really needs is a therapist. I mean, Carina wasn't wrong when she was pushing her to go see someone, because her trauma is also what is causing her relationship to break down. Her unwillingness to talk about it, the way that she pushes Carina away, the way she decides to use blackmail to try and get her captaincy back. All of that is motivated by her experience as a kid with her father. I love the way that they're not just glossing over it, having her suddenly be better. And what it's doing is it's creating this lovely storyline threaded through her relationship with Carina. Now she's at a point where she's recognized that she actually does need to do the work properly with a therapist to sort herself out so that she can be present within the relationship with Carina. My final favorite moment is the immigration interview. It's the whole thing with Carina sitting outside being really nervous, and then once they got into the interview, the whole thing was just pitch perfect comedy with Carina making Maya squirm by talking about their sex lives.
Carina, what? Tell like you'll tell a friend.
And the whole bickering that went on between them. It was all just so entertaining, and I cackled the whole way through. There were also some moments where I was wondering if Maya was really putting her foot in it when they were joking about,
use of child soldiers.
No. I'm sorry. I assure you we take this very seriously.
To engage in activities of human trafficking.
Yes, definitely.
Maya!
Definitely yes to that one.
And given how serious the immigration officer was, there was just enough tension to make me go, oh my God, is he going to deny them because they're joking about this? Anyway, the whole thing was lovely. Loved it. I'm sure that there are going to be more favorite moments that are going to emerge as we continue through. I'm finding season 6 to be really well written for these two. They've got some wonderful meaty stuff to get their teeth into. I'm loving the fact that Maya is finally getting the therapy that she needs, and we're getting to see them trying to find a way back to each other. Let me know what your favorite moments of Maya and Carina are in the comments. Check out the videos in the title cards and on your screen. And until next time, lady lovers.